So it did begin last night with the win, and for the New England Patriots, just remarkable what they're doing. But the Week 11's going to be pretty dang good. Now the Dallas Cowboys will wrap up Week 11, and we'll get into what's going on Sunday. But I wanted to mention, their game's not until Monday night, and it's safe to say when they travel to Vegas to face the Raiders, it'll be a reunion a bit of first-year head coach Brian Schottenheimer with his one of his mentors, Pete Carroll. He was 3 years the offensive coordinator in Seattle for Carroll before he came to Cowboys in 2022. But obviously the main focus yesterday was not close to the game or anything at the Star Complex. The team took the field for the first time yesterday following the death of their teammate Marshawn Kneeland last Thursday. And listen to Jane Slater on the show on NFL Network I like a lot called The Insiders, and she's part of that, and she always brings the scoop on the Cowboys. And, she described a pretty emotional day yesterday for the Dallas Cowboys. See if I could find old Jane here. Here she is from The Insiders last night. This is Jane Slater. Here we go. My Twitter is running slow here.
Well, buffer.
And the hard part about that navigation and reconciliation is the fact that there were no signs at all. And that's what makes Marshawn Kneeland's death so hard for this team, Mike. According to his teammate, friend, and a guy he would go on double dates with, his wide receiver Ryan Flournoy, he said the shocking part for him is the fact that he was so high on life. He scored that touchdown on Monday Night Football, and then a few days later, he was gone. According to Solomon Thomas, who has unfortunately some experience with death by suicide, he said the big thing that's been helping around here is their mental health coach.
All right, so think about that no one could understand it. I mean, this guy was high on life. I mean, Jerry Jones talked about one of the reasons they wanted to draft him out of Western Michigan was his spirit and just how hard he played and an overachiever. And, here's Solomon Thomas, who Jane Slater just referenced. He and Dak Prescott have started the foundation to help, people with mental illness. Dak Prescott's own brother took his own life 5 years ago. Here's Solomon Thomas, who's back with the Cowboys this year. Of course, played high school football up there in the Metroplex.
Marshawn was in the building smiling every day. He was happy. He was listening to music. He was dancing all the time. But that's the thing with mental health and suicide. You just never know what someone's going through. Someone could be smiling. Someone could be dancing, laughing, having a great time, expressing all this joy. But inside, they could really be fighting a battle that you never know about. You don't know.
All right, so just a terrible, terrible situation. Here's Brian Schottenheimer. This guy's got, obviously, his hands full to get this team to focus on football. Plus, new play about Quinnen Williams and Logan Wilson coming into this, and they're like tiptoeing around.
Yeah, a lot going on in the bye.
Here's Shotty talking about just how difficult it was yesterday.
I'd like to just take a few moments and offer my condolences to Marshawn's family, Catalina, his girlfriend, and we had an opportunity last night to celebrate Marshawn's life, tell some stories, share, laugh, cry. Marshawn loved the words "one love," so we talked a lot about love as we grieve, and I just got a chance to really share a couple of things that I'll miss the most about Marshawn. Those top couple things was he had the most playful spirit of any young man I've been around. His smile could take you to your knees. And in terms of him as an athlete, no one had a better motor than him. So my heart is heavy. Our team's heart is heavy. We don't move on, but we do move forward.
All right. Tough week, no doubt about that. And obviously, anybody who or check on your people, but also if you're dealing with anything deep down, there are our services and our people, for sure. All right, so there's the Cowboys side. They'll play Monday night, and obviously Monday we'll have a full chance to preview that game itself. And can the Cowboys get back to the closer to the 500 mark on the year? But also Week 11, there are what I would say 3 or 4 5-star matchups that we've talked about. Tampa and Buffalo, noon on Sunday. Josh Allen talked this week about the friendship he's made with Baker Mayfield, that they're good buddies off the field, that play golf, and we really respect one another. There's also the must-see late window. That's the big noon game. And there's another one with Houston and Tennessee that I'll tell you about in a minute. That's not nearly as big as that. But Buffalo, with they're watching what New England's doing, they can't lose this game.
No.
Tampa Bay's trying to win the NFC South. Buffalo wants to be in the mix in the East, but now Mike Vrabel's team's running away with it and already beaten them once. So this is a
at
big
their
game.
place too.
Yeah, in Buffalo. There's such a Jekyll and Hyde team this year. Buffalo. They're up and down for sure. Also, the must-see games in the late window. We talked about 7-2 Seattle facing 7-2 LA. The Rams. Rivals are 1-2 in the NFL in scoring margin against. Right, Seattle's outscored their opponents by 103 points. The Rams by 98.
Yeah.
This is the two best teams in football so far through the 2 months of the season. They should be a heck of a ball game. But the game that will get the biggest, it's got the big late window on Fox, I believe, or CBS with Nance and Romo. It's Denver. 8-2, first place, kind of like New England, kind of out of nowhere. Everybody thought they'd be good, but man, this good. They're going to host the team that has won the AFC West every year for the past 9 years under Andy Reid. On their way to 5 Super Bowls and 3, Vince Lombardi trophies. They've won this division 9 straight years. Here's a good one for you. I gave this to Jack earlier. When was the last time a team not named the Broncos or Chiefs won that division?
Oof.
It's been a minute. 2009.
Was it the Chargers?
The San Diego Superchargers, 2009. Then the Broncos went on a 6-year run, and the Chiefs have won it for 9 straight years.
That sounds about right.
So these are the 2 teams that have won this division for most of your lifetime, Noah Kreitz.
No joke.
And now here's the thing for the Chiefs. Chiefs come in at 5-4. They're full 3 games back of Sean Payton's team. And if they lose this, they're not winning it for a 10th straight year. Because of the Patriots, because this is head-to-head. If the Broncos go to 9-2,
right,
and they fall to 5-5, I mean, you can say what you want, but Sean Payton's team might struggle a little bit, but that's going to be a tough. Plus, you got the Chargers in there. They're 7-3. Are playing Jacksonville tomorrow or Sunday, so they got this could be the year for the Chiefs. Now they're still good. A lot of people would still think Vegas still favors them to win the AFC, but they may not even win that division right now.
Right,
that game Sunday afternoon is a monster.
It is. I mean,
monster
home field
game.
Advantage. If that's stripped away from Kansas City,
And they got to go wild card.
Right.
That hadn't happened under in this Mahomes Andy Reid run, and Randy Reid's was on the run of division since before Mahomes got there.
Right. 2 seasons ago, they weren't the 1 seed, and
they had to go to Buffalo.
They had to go up to Buffalo. Right. Yeah. So.
Also on Sunday night, another matchup of NFC heavyweights on Sunday Night Football. Noah's Detroit Lions in Philly to face the 7-2 Eagles. You got 6-3, 7-2.
Yep.
And both Super Bowl contenders, and the Eagles, as I said earlier, and Rich Eisen, I took his example, like the 77-78 Yankees. They just they have all this drama and A.J. Brown and divas, and they just win.
It's ugly. They feed off being toxic.
If you're my age, you remember vaguely, but if you're older than me, you remember George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin and Reggie Job, those Yankees teams that were just dysfunctional. Billy Joel's writing songs about the headlines, and they just thrive through it. They do. They just win.
I'm so pumped for this game because, the Lions have won and looked good in some games. Obviously, Washington last week didn't have Jane Daniels. They kind of exercised the demons out of when they lost the NFC champion to go to the NFC Championship. Washington in the playoffs last year. This is the last time they played. But I do think that this, like you said, you mentioned the other game in the NFC. Those who win those games, right? The LA-Seattle matchup and the Eagles here, especially hosting Detroit. I think it's going to kind of speak to see who the real dogs when it comes to the top of the NFC.
100%, yeah, and it's so and some of these are. I mean, you got to get wins here. I mean, Houston can't lose tomorrow Sunday to Tennessee, and if they have any hopes of having a season, but they're 4-5. Baltimore can't lose, and here's the thing with
they're rolling though.
Here's the thing with the Texans playing the fake Oilers. It is another must. They can get back to 500.
Yep.
And if you're a Texans fan, you're rooting to get a win here, and you're rooting for the Chargers to beat Jacksonville, and because you can chase down on you to just beat Jacksonville, you'd like to see them come back a little bit, or you maybe aren't rooting for the Chargers because Chargers might be a team that you're fighting for a wild card spot with if you can get back in it. But you got to do that with this, and you're going to do it with your backup quarterback Davis Mills. He needs to step up in a big way. C.J. Stroud ruled out again. He remains in concussion protocol. There's some whispers in Houston they may have him because Houston plays this game on Sunday, then they play Thursday night next week against Buffalo with Josh Allen, and so it could. If he's not cleared by Monday, he won't be playing in that game, and then you'd have 10 days before they play the Colts for the first time. So keep an eye on that. The Titans are the league's worst team. We know that. They're 1-8, and they're worse by a lot. Remember, their one win was that absolute miracle freak comeback at Arizona, given to them by the Cardinals.
Right.
Other than that, they've been outscored by 127 points this season.
Damn.
Yeah, 127 points.
But Sark wants that job.
Yeah, right. Listen to whoever put that out there. So how about this? Here's a little trivia, too. Sunday's Texans-Titans matchup might not be one you watch much. You're watching Buccaneers and Bills and some others. It's just the sixth time since 1970. I wasn't even born when this happened. The sixth time that the NFL's best scoring and total defense will face the league's worst scoring and total offense entering that game. This is best on worst. Top-ranked defense, by the way, is 5-0 in those previous 5 matchups with an average margin of victory of 16 points. So, again, best scoring and total defense in the league with DeMeco Ryans, even though they can be terribly undisciplined and make me pull my hair out.
Sure.
They will face the league's worst scoring and total offense entering this game, and the scoring margin of 127 points would tell you, even with Davis Mills, maybe that's why they're being very, very careful with C.J. Stroud. But for those wondering, about toughness for C.J. Stroud, there are reports in Houston that the doctors have told him not even to come outside. He's having headaches, bright lights, the whole thing. So he took a pretty severe concussion in that hit in the Jacksonville, or no, it came. That was the Denver game when he got knocked out in the first. He got hit. They called it a penalty originally as he was sliding, but they said they ruled it shoulder, but his back of his head smashed the turf, and we've talked to our brain experts, and they say that's always the worst. Anything in the back or the side really is not good. So that's where it is for C.J. Stroud. But Houston can still win that game with Davis Mills, and you got to think that offense has a lot of confidence coming off the comeback win over
he played well, man.
He did.
He really did.
And gave them a spark. So, and look, Davis Mills is a fifth-year player.
Yeah, he's
kind of
played a lot of ball.
He's been a starting quarterback. He's not. He can win you football games, especially against this outfit with poor Cam Ward, who's from the Houston area originally. He's got to deal with that dysfunction.